Nazi Germany: Rise, Rule and Collapse. In the early 20th century, Europe was a continent shaped by war, uncertainty, and deep political change. Out of this instability emerged one of the most destructive regimes in human history: Nazi Germany. Its rise was not inevitable. It was the result of economic crisis, political failure, and the manipulation of fear and identity. Its rule brought unprecedented violence, including genocide on an industrial scale, and its fall would reshape the modern world. This is the story of how Nazi Germany rose, ruled, and ultimately collapsed. To understand the rise of Nazi Germany, we must begin at the end of World War I. In 1918, Germany was defeated. The war had devastated the country, millions dead, the economy shattered, and the monarchy overthrown. In 1919, the Treaty of Versailles imposed harsh penalties on Germany: territorial losses, military restrictions, and heavy reparations. Many Germans viewed the treaty as a humiliation. At the same time, the new democratic government, the Weimar Republic, struggled to maintain stability. Political violence, attempted coups, and economic crises weakened public trust. In the early 1920s, hyperinflation made money nearly worthless. Families lost their savings overnight. Then, just as stability began to return, the Great Depression struck in 1929. Unemployment soared, businesses collapsed. Millions of people faced poverty and uncertainty. In times like these, extreme ideas often gain ground. Amid this chaos, the Nazi Party began to grow. The party used powerful propaganda, blaming Germany's problems on the Treaty of Versailles. Political opponents, and especially Jewish communities, the Nazis promised to restore national pride, rebuild the economy, and bring order. Through mass rallies, speeches, and media control, they gained support. By 1933, its leader was appointed chancellor. Soon after, democratic institutions were dismantled. Political opponents were silenced, and power became centralized in a one-party state. Germany had become a dictatorship. Once in power, the Nazi regime moved quickly to control every aspect of life. Propaganda played a central role. Newspapers, radio, film, and education were used to shape public opinion and spread ideology. Dissent was dangerous. A secret police force monitored citizens. Those who opposed the regime could be arrested. At the same time, the government launched major public works projects and rearmament programs, which gave the impression of recovery. But this recovery was built on militarization and control. One of the most horrific aspects of Nazi rule was its systematic persecution of minorities. From the beginning, discriminatory laws targeted Jewish people, stripping them of rights, jobs, and citizenship. In 1938, a violent event known as Kristallnacht saw synagogues burned, businesses destroyed, and thousands arrested. During World War II, this persecution became genocide. This systematic attempt to eliminate an entire people is known as the Holocaust. While consolidating power at home, Nazi Germany pursued aggressive expansion abroad. In 1938, Austria was annexed. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war. World War II had begun. Using a strategy known as Blitzkrieg or Lightning War, German forces quickly overwhelmed Poland, France, and other countries. In 1941, Germany invaded the Soviet Union, opening a massive Eastern Front. But this expansion would soon meet resistance. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, the United States entered the war. Key turning points like the Battle of Stalingrad followed. In 1944, the D-Day invasion marked the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe. By 1945, Allied forces were closing in from both east and west. Cities were heavily bombed, and infrastructure collapsed. In April 1945, Soviet forces reached Berlin. Shortly after, the regime collapsed. Germany surrendered in May 1945. The consequences of Nazi rule were devastating. Tens of millions were dead, and the Holocaust revealed the horrifying extent of genocide. Leading figures of the regime were tried in the Nuremberg trials, establishing important precedents for international law. The history of Nazi Germany is not just a story of the past, it is a warning. It demonstrates the dangers of authoritarianism and the importance of memory. Museums ensure that future generations understand what happened. Understanding this history is essential, because only by remembering the past can we hope to prevent it from happening again.